This past week, I had a long conversation with a candidate who wants to run for office and win an election, a very bright, very passionate mother of two children who's very concerned about the direction of our country. During our conversation, she asked me a question I seldom hear. Why do you do what you do? There is an answer to that question, an answer that may be very relevant to you, an answer that should be relevant to anybody who's looking for a coach to help them run for office. I do what I do because of something I saw when I was 13 years old. It was 1968. Our political discourse had become a sewer, so vile, so venal, so filled with hate and division that certain subjects dare not be mentioned at family gatherings. There was a crime epidemic no one knew how to contain, civil unrest no one knew how to control. We were a nation racked by a war no one knew how to stop. I was a 13-year-old farm boy growing up in the state of Indiana. In the spring of 1968, I came home from school and was getting ready to do my chores. As I walked through the kitchen, I stopped to scan the newspapers on the kitchen table, and I noticed that a presidential candidate named Senator Robert Kennedy was campaigning in Indiana that day. Figuring that he'd be on the evening news, I decided to finish my chores early so that I could see him on television. Except when the news came on, he wasn't there. Instead, I saw footage of cities all over America on fire, burning, looting, rioting, and then came President Johnson pleading for calm and demanding law and order. And finally, halfway through the newscast, there was Robert Kennedy, standing on the back of a flatbed truck in what was called the ghetto of Indianapolis, surrounded by a sea of horrified faces as he told them that Dr. Martin Luther King had been assassinated. Kennedy spoke of his own pain of losing his brother to an assassin's bullet. He asked that they not respond to violence with violence, but to instead go to their homes and churches to peacefully honor, remember, and celebrate the life of Dr. King. Kennedy spoke for less than 5 minutes, ending his speech by reciting the words of Aeschylus. Even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom, through the awful grace of God. When he finished, thousands of people quietly joined hands and went to their homes and churches to pray. Indianapolis was the only major city in the country where there was no violence that night. To this day, it's a city that has been largely free of racial conflict. Today, it's also a thriving city. It has a football stadium, a basketball arena, a baseball stadium, a world-class natatorium, beautiful museums, restaurants open around the clock, and a small monument commemorating the night that Senator Kennedy sought to heal suffering by summoning the better angels of the human spirit. Watching Kennedy give that speech changed everything for me. It was the first time in my life that I'd ever seen the raw power of words. Words that forever changed the destiny of an entire city. Words that forever altered my personal and professional journey. For I soon came to realize that I'd never be content to live the life of a farmer. That my destiny was to be on or near that great stage of discourse and democracy. Words are the most powerful drug humankind has ever known. The internet is the most powerful weapon ever invented. You do not need to be a senator or run for president to make a difference. It has never been easier to right a wrong, correct an injustice, advance a cause, or lead a movement. Never has it been easier to be a source of inspiration or a role model for a world starving for leadership. I began my career as a coach for political candidates before the ink was dry on my college diploma, knowing that it was what I was born to do. My greatest rewards have come from helping smart and passionate people advance a worthy cause, by helping them harness the power of their own words. It's why I do what I do, and why I will continue to do it until my time on earth has come to a close. I thank you for listening. We've started a new Facebook group for candidates who are running for office this year or plan to someday. More than 700 candidates who are learning to advance a worthy cause using civilized discourse in the marketplace of ideas. It's a place where you can get help with your campaign, get quick answers to any questions you have, so that you can win an election and make a difference. Come join the discussion. You'll find the link on or near the screen you are using to watch this video.